Kashmir, multi-locations raids are now underway. Varanasi court judgment on carbon dating likely. It's Shivling versus the Fountain claim once again. Uddhav gets flaming torch as symbol. Shinde camp asked to submit fresh set of symbols. Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav's last rites in Saifai today. A very good morning. Thanks for staying with us on the Morning Express. I'm Nivedna Prabhu. Starting off with the fact that we're getting breaking news and the fact that ED is carrying out searches in Chhattisgarh. Now, we're understanding so far that the searches are ongoing at 12 locations. We're going to get more details on this, but the latest breaking news being that the ED is carrying out searches in Chhattisgarh, and the ED is carrying out these ongoing searches at 12 locations. For more information on this, we're joined by our senior editor, Shravan Sen, joining us on the phone lines. Shravan, what can you tell us about the fact that the ED is conducting these raids in Chhattisgarh in 12 locations?
Well, Nivedana, at this point in time, preliminary information only coming in. All that we can confirm is that searches are being carried out at multiple locations. As of now, we've been told that about 12 locations where these searches are being carried out. The number could very well go up. Apart from that, we are also being told that there are certain political links that have basically emerged in this particular case that is being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate. Certain bureaucrats are also basically under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. The specific case in which these searches are being carried out is yet to be confirmed by our sources in the Enforcement Directorate. As we said, the searches started barely about an hour ago, and that is the reason why very sketchy details are coming in right now, Nivedana. All that we can confirm that the searches are limited to the state of Chhattisgarh, over 12 locations where these searches are being carried out, and few bureaucrats are basically under the scanner of the agency.
Also, Shravan, considering the fact that you did point out that we are awaiting further details as well, but would we know what time these searches actually started, if we have information on that front?
Well, in fact, Nivedana, what I'm picking up from my sources in the Enforcement Directorate's local unit in Chhattisgarh is that these searches started around 7 o'clock this morning. So it's been barely about 1.5 hours before when the searches actually started. We're waiting for some more information to actually come in pertaining to the case in which these searches are being carried out. What I've been able to pick up is that certain officers, bureaucrats are basically under the scanner. And yes, there is also a political link that has basically emerged in this particular case.
All right. Thank you, Shravan, for getting us those details. We, of course, will continue to track this big development that is coming in terms of ED conducting these raids in Chhattisgarh. Like Shravan pointed out, we'll wait and find out what are the other details that emerge out of this big story coming in. But moving on to other news now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the first phase of the rupees 856 crore Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor Development Project in Ujjain today. We get you all the details you need to know.
Minister Narendra Modi is all set to inaugurate the first phase of the Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor Development Project in Madhya Pradesh's Ujjain today. The Hindu temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and is among the 12 celebrated Jyotirlingas in India. The corridor is being developed at an estimated cost of over rupees 856 crore and has been named as Mahakal Lok. The corridor measures over 900 meters in length and will house around 200 statues and murals of Lord Shiva and Goddess Shakti, among other religious figures. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan on Sunday evening took stock of the preparations and oversaw dress rehearsal of various cultural performances that will be held in the corridor premises.
2018 में मध्य प्रदेश की कैबिनेट ने इस पूरे प्रकल्प को स्वीकृति दी, लेकिन जो सोचा था उससे कहीं बहुत उत्तम, अद्भुत, अकल्पनीय और एक ऐसा काम जो हमारी सांस्कृतिक अभ्युदय का काम है। भारत का सांस्कृतिक पुनरुत्थान हो रहा है।
According to officials, the mega corridor project after completion will expand the temple complex area from 2.87 hectare earlier to 47 hectare. A light and sound system has also been developed and work on phase 2 of the project is currently underway, under which Rudrasagar Lake has been rejuvenated. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The spiritual capital of India, Ujjain, is all decked up like it's a pre-Diwali season for them. The reason? That Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, will be inaugurating the Grand Mahakal Corridor, or as they say, the Mahakal Lok. Right now, we are at the Ujjain Road, and as you can see, posters have already been put up welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Here you can see massive banners have been put. The street has been decked up with Modi posters and saffron flag, and the Chief Minister poster as well. Now PM Modi is set to have to reach the venue, the Mahakal Corridor venue, at 6 p.m. today to inaugurate the mega corridor. Now preparations have already started. Republic is reporting live from Ujjain for the whole day, and we'll keep you live and posted with all the updates that's happening. This is Tanisha Avasthi with Vijay Surendra in Ujjain, reporting for Republic TV.
Moving on, a clash between two communities at Mominpur in Kolkata led to tensions, and many houses in the Mayurbhanj area were ransacked and cars were destroyed late on October 9th. Now, following the incident, Bengal BJP has now written to the Prime Minister seeking action.
In Kolkata's Khidarpur Mominpur area, clashes between two groups led to several being injured.
During the night of 8th October and throughout the day of 9th October, there are reports of arson, rampage, vandalism, hooliganism and bomb explosion from the Iqbalpur police station area of Kolkata police. As per BJP's allegation, there were primary police inaction.
$48 आवर्स से मोमिनपुर इकबालपुर इलाके में दंगा चल रहा था। दंगा बोलना भी इसे गलत है। एक तरफा मार चल रहा था। वहाँ पे अनुसूचित जाति के लोग जो हिंदू वहाँ पे है उनके ऊपर आक्रमण चल रहा है, और सारे टीएमसी ही करते थे। ऐसा नहीं कि बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता है, और उनके ऊपर आक्रमण चल रहा था। पुलिस भाग रही थी, पुलिस कभी टेबल के नीचे छुप रही थी। थाना पूरा हाईजैक हो गया था, थाना दखल कर लिया था दंगाई होने।
The BJP Bengal president Shukanta Majumdar tried to visit the area but was stopped.
Kolkata police got a bit more activated on Iqbalpur situation and imposed 144 in the area. In the promulgation order, Kolkata police has also said that they have source-based information that there may be violent rally or demonstration in the area which can breach the tranquility and peace of the public life.
Meanwhile, the BJP has marched to the Raj Bhavan and has met the governor.
राज्यपाल से हम लोग का एक डिमांड है, आप गवर्नमेंट को जल्दी एडवाइस कीजिए डिप्लॉयमेंट ऑफ पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स। वहाँ हालत बहुत खराब है, आज पुलिस पूरा रिलैक्टेंट है। पुलिस का लापरवाही वजह से, रिलैक्टेंट एटीट्यूड से ये हादसा हुआ है।
And the Trinamool Congress claims the BJP is provoking.
2 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, 3 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसके बीच थोड़ा बहुत कुछ हुआ, होना नहीं चाहिए था मगर हुआ। लेकिन बाद में वहां पर आदमी उतारा और सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है, पुलिस है, ये है, तो वहां पर जाकर प्रोवोकेशन देना क्या काम है?
It's the ultimate political face-off.
We're slipping into a short break on the Morning Express, but on the other side, after Partha aid yet another Mamta man in the dock, Manik Bhattacharya arrested by ED in Bengal job scam. And mega NIA crackdown in Jammu and Kashmir. Multi-location raids are now underway. We'll get you the latest on that on the other side of the short break. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
और ये जो नीच आपने कहा है उसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते?
किसने क्या कहा, किसने क्या नहीं कहा। जनता ये कहती है कि 27 साल का हिसाब तो हमें वीडियो नहीं देखना है। सी का मतलब है क्लीन। जिस तरीके से बीजेपी के नेता केंद्र में बैठे हुए लोग जनता की जेबों को क्लीन कर रहे हैं, अपने उद्योगपति दोस्तों को 10 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा माफी कर रहे हैं, उसको सी बोलते हैं ना, क्लीन।
The world supermarket. World is ours for the taking. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
An explosion caused the partial collapse of a bridge linking the Crimean Peninsula with Russia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will declare Gujarat's Modhera village as India's first solar-powered village.
Open firing has been reported in the national capital, where the miscreants opened fire at a shop in Daryapur area.
In 2021, the Indian economy was all geared up.
We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower.
Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
There was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. The situation is part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Mission Superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
blasts that have been reported in the central city of Kiev.
Russia has once again escalated deadly attacks on cities across Ukraine.
Welcome back. Now, the final rites of Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav will be conducted this afternoon. Now, politicians from across the party line and people from across the state gathered in Safai to pay their tributes to the late SP leader.
VIPs, political leaders and commoners continue to throng Safai. Chants of Netaji Amar Rahe, as he was fondly called by Samajwadi Party cadre, reverberated across Safai. Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav's mortal remains arrived in Safai village of Itawa and have been kept at his kothi. Mulayam's son Akhilesh Yadav and the entire family is present in Safai, even as hundreds of followers of the late SP leader gathered to pay their last respects.
देखिए नेताजी के निधन से देश की राजनीति गरीब बिल्कुल आईडी नीचे रखो ना भारत समाचार भैया उन्होंने जिस तरीके से पॉलिटिक्स में आने के बाद राजनीति शुरू की जिस तरह से आम लोगों को भारत समाचार.
Mulayam's brother Shivpal Yadav was seen comforting Akhilesh as the latter broke down. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also reached Safai and paid tributes to former Chief Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav. Mulayam Singh Yadav's final rites will be performed this afternoon. A huge pandal has been set up for the last rites. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief Minister of different states are expected to arrive. Markets will stay shut in Itawa as Mulayam Yadav, the tallest leader of Samajwadi Party and a 3-time Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, will be laid to rest. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Last year, we were all geared up.
This network is proof that everything in India is greenfield. Is it time for the Republic Network to do a spectacular intervention in global digital news media or not? It's my passion project. So that is our consecration to making India a superpower.
Now India has a clear goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the fastest growing economy. We have the potential to become a superpower. Last year, the economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. Mission Superpower.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
और ये जो नीच आपने कहा है उसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते?
किसने क्या कहा, किसने क्या नहीं कहा, जनता ये कहती है कि 27 साल का हिसाब तो हमें वीडियो नहीं देखना है। सी का मतलब है क्लीन। जिस तरीके से बीजेपी के नेता केंद्र में बैठे हुए लोग जनता की जेबों को क्लीन कर रहे हैं, अपने उद्योगपति दोस्तों को 10 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा माफी कर रहे हैं, उसको सी बोलते हैं ना, क्लीन।
The World Supermarket. World is ours for the taking. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
An explosion caused the partial collapse of a bridge linking the Crimean Peninsula with Russia.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will declare Gujarat's Modhera village as India's first solar-powered village.
Open firing has been reported in the national capital, where the miscreants opened fire at a shop in Daryapur area.
In 2021, the Indian economy was all geared up.
We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower.
Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
There was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. The situation is part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
More breaking news coming in. CBI has filed a charge sheet against former Telecom Minister A. Raja in a disproportionate case commission that was allegedly received by the minister in the form of land purchased by a company close to Raja. And the commission was given by DLF to Kowai Shelters, and the company is said to be close to A. Raja. Now, on the other hand, Raja received the commission when he was the Environment Minister in 2007. Overall, during the check period, he had DA of 5.53 crore, which was 579% disproportionate to his known source of income. Now, Kowai had known business apart from the deal. Now, DLF had bought a hotel in Kanchipuram is what we're learning so far. So that is the breaking news coming in, that the CBI has filed a charge sheet against the former Telecom Minister A. Raja in a DA case. Now, the commission that was allegedly received by the minister is said to be around 4.5 crore in the form of land purchased by a company close to Raja. Now, what we're also given to understand is that the commission was given by DLF to Kowai Shelters. Now, Raja received the commission when he was the Environment Minister in 2007. But that's the latest, that the CBI has filed a charge sheet against A. Raja in the DA case. The other stories that we're tracking at this hour, PM Modi is scheduled to inaugurate the first phase of the 856 crore Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor Development Project in Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh today. The project is to be named Mahakal Lok. Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav is to be cremated at Safai, his native village at the district of Etawah in Uttar Pradesh. Now, BRS chief and Telangana Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao are further expected to be present at the funeral. The Election Commission has allotted the flaming torch as the poll symbol to the Uddhav faction of the Shiv Sena, with the party's name now being Shiv Sena Uddhav Bala Saheb Thackeray. The Shinde faction, meanwhile, has been named Bala Saheb Anchi Shiv Sena, while the EC has asked it to submit a fresh list for poll symbols. The court at Varanasi is likely to pronounce a verdict in connection with the Gyanvapi Mosque, with the court earlier having ordered a filmography of the mosque with the carbon dating of the alleged shivling to be conducted. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to visit Bihar, with his visit being his second one in 3 weeks. He's scheduled to hold a rally of the district of Saran in order to celebrate the birth anniversary of socialist icon Jaiprakash Narayan at his birthplace. The Supreme Court is expected to hear a plea filed by Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain in connection with the Delhi High Court verdict dismissing his petition against a transfer of his money laundering case to another court. The Supreme Court is further expected to hear a plea filed by the Enforcement Directorate challenging the Bombay High Court order granting bail to former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in a money laundering case. Three minors are reported to be among 6 women buried alive after a portion of a plaster collapsed on them near a mining area they were near to dig out mud for their huts. We're slipping into a short break, but on the other side, mega NIA crackdown in Jammu and Kashmir, multi-location raids are now underway. And the Varanasi court judgment on carbon dating likely. It's Shivling versus Fountain claim once again. We get you the latest on that on the other side. Stay tuned.
No longer on the fence anymore. A new India is empowering a paradigm shift. The mission now is global dominance. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the 5th largest economy. We are the fastest growing economy. Last year, the Indian economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. It's Mission Superpower.
Last year, we were all geared up.
This network is proof that everything in India is greenfield. Is it time for the Republic Network to do a spectacular intervention in global digital news media or not? It's my passion project. So that is our consecration to making India a superpower.
Now India has a clear goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the fastest growing economy. We have the potential to become a superpower. Last year, the economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. Mission Superpower.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
और ये जो नीच आपने कहा है उसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते हैं?
किसने क्या कहा, किसने क्या नहीं कहा, जनता ये कहती है कि 27 साल का हिसाब तो हमें वीडियो नहीं देखना है। सी का मतलब है क्लीन। जिस तरीके से बीजेपी के नेता केंद्र में बैठे हुए लोग जनता की जेबों को क्लीन कर रहे हैं, अपने उद्योगपति दोस्तों को 10 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा माफी कर रहे हैं, उसको सी बोलते हैं ना, क्लीन।
The world supermarket. World is ours for the taking.
After Partha Chatterjee and his aide, yet another Mamata man is in the dock. Manik Bhattacharya arrested by the ED in the Bengal job scam. Prime Minister Modi is to launch the first phase of the Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor project in Ujjain. Mega NIA crackdown in Jammu and Kashmir. Multi-location raids are now underway. The Varanasi court judgment on carbon dating is likely. It's the Shivaling versus the fountain claim once again. Uddhav Thackeray gets the flaming torch as a symbol. Shinde camp asked to submit fresh set of symbols. The Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav's last rites in Safai today. Well, good morning and welcome. You are watching Republic TV and this is live and breaking. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now, we are now getting the first visuals of the ED searches that are being conducted in Chhattisgarh. Sources have told Republic TV that searches are underway across about 12 locations in the state. Now, further details are still awaited. We are still trying to ascertain the case that the ED is investigating, but what we know so far is that over 12 locations are under the ED scanner. Pictures on your screen are of where these raids are being conducted. This, of course, is being seen as a huge crackdown of the Enforcement Directorate across Chhattisgarh. These are multiple raids that are being carried out across the state of Chhattisgarh. For now, what we're given to understand and the information that we are getting from our sources seems to suggest that about 12 places have been raided across the city. Now, also what we know is that Soumya Chaurasia in Durg, Vijay Malu in Devendra Nagar, Raigarh's collector, Ranu Sahu's residence, all of these places are being raided. There is there is another raid that's being reported in Raipur. This is the mining head of the IAS, JP Maurya. Further details, of course, are awaited as to what these searches are in connection with, but some of these appear to be in homes and offices of top government officials who are being raided. Shavan Sen on the phone line with me with more details. Yes, Shavan, good morning. Give us more details of what you are picking up on this.
Well, in fact, the search started around 7 o'clock this morning. As of now, over 12 locations where the searches are being carried out, which basically covers select officials, chartered accountants and businessmen. In fact, I'm being told that the searches are being carried out at Raigarh collector Ranu Sahu's her husband, IS official, mining secretary JP Maurya, their residence in Raipur, her residence in Raigarh, few businessmen in Raigarh, searches also in Durg, Pilai, Raipur is what we are being told, and chartered accountants. That's the latest we are getting it as of now with regards to the searches that are being carried out across 12 locations. The number could very well go up with what we are picking up at this point in time.
Right, Chavan, as you're pointing out, of course, you are saying that about 12 locations are under the ED scanner. Can you give us more details in terms of the case that is being investigated by the ED in this particular case?
Well, Nupur, at this point in time, very little such details really coming in from our sources within the Enforcement Directorate. All that we can confirm right now are the fact that the searches are being carried out over at about 12 locations. But what is important to point out here is that the bureaucrats are basically under this scanner, starting from the mining secretary to about few businessmen and chartered accountants who are basically under this scanner. Not just that, collectors have also come under this scanner. What it says is that it's still not known. We are still waiting for some details to basically come in from our sources, perhaps in a short while from now, because the searches started around 7 o'clock this morning. So it's been barely few hours when the searches started, and that is the reason why what we have right now is extremely sketchy in nature. But what we are broadcasting right now, this is confirmed that about the searches are being carried out, which is at over 12 locations, multiple locations in Chhattisgarh.
which covers about chartered accountants, bureaucrats, and a few businesses.
Right, Shravan Sen reporting on that. Thank you for joining us. So as Shravan is pointing out, about 12 locations under the scanner. Scant details emerging. All we know for now is that some of these raids are being conducted on homes and offices of top bureaucrats in Chhattisgarh. Now, sources have told Republic TV that NIA raids are also underway at multiple locations in Shopian district. Raids in Poonch are also taking place. So essentially several locations under the scanner in Jammu and Kashmir. These raids, of course, are being carried out in connection with case relating to terror financing and a conspiracy to motivate the youth to resort to violence in Jammu and Kashmir. So terror financing, as well as trying to get more young people to take up arms, is primarily the case in which these raids are being conducted. These are NIA's raids. Zeenat on the phone line with us. She has more details. Zeenat, tell us where these raids are being conducted in Kashmir.
See, Nupur, the raids that we are, the visuals that we are beaming are from the Shopian of South Kashmir. Plus, we are seeing the NIA raids not only in Shopian but also in Pulwama of South Kashmir. The twin districts of South Kashmir are witnessing NIA raids. What we are picking from the sources is that one of the places where the NIA is raiding is the residential house of one teacher who is teaching here in Srinagar. Simultaneously, the raids in the Jammu parts, where again we are witnessing raids in Rajouri and Poonch and other places. Although it is more like to see that how the government is trying to crack the web-borne terror network, because these kind of raids have been going on for a long time now. Whether it was the people who were supporting the terrorism by providing them logistic support like OGW network, Playam Trust were raided earlier, then we also witnessed the Hurriyat leaders were raided, business people were raided, and now again the focus has been shifted to South Kashmir, to districts of South Kashmir where the raids are on. Although these raids are being done by the NIA along with the JNK police and the CRPF. It's the aim of all these raids is to take the terror oxygen out from Jammu and Kashmir, as Prime Minister Modi have been after it, and also the Home Minister Amit Shah, that the Delhi believes that to establish peace, that this time they are not buying they're buying peace. So to have the more peace in the Jammu and Kashmir, they want to take the terror network out. They want to dismantle the terror network. We have been also seeing, in order to take this terror network out, we have been seeing the N number of anti-terror operations where the terrorists, foreign terrorists, Pakistani terrorists, or for that matter the local terrorists have been utilized in these operations. Just a day before, there was an operation in Anantnag where again the LET, the local two terrorists, were neutralized. So all this is coming to the success to the Jammu and Kashmir police, army, as well as the other forces who are working tirelessly to dismantle the terror network in Jammu and Kashmir.
All right. So as Zeenat is pointing out, these raids are being carried out in multiple locations in Shopian. There are also reports that are emanating from the Poonch district of Jammu, where raids are being conducted. These raids, of course, in connection with terror financing. Thank you very much, Zeenat, for joining us and bringing us all those details on this. Now, as Zeenat was pointing out, of course, the focus right now is on dismantling the terror network that has been operating in Jammu and Kashmir. So the NIA continuing with their raids in Rajouri as well as Shopian. Well, sources, of course, telling Republic TV that these raids are being conducted on various operators who agencies believe are behind spreading terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the Jamaat-e-Islami, of course, several of their offices are being raided, and the NIA is investigating whether they funded how they've been funding terror, and also what are the Hawala channels that are being used. Let me go across to Gursimran, who's also joining us from Jammu for more on this. Gursimran, tell us more about the raids that are being conducted in Jammu.
See, right now we are at one of the locations where raids are happening, and we are the only channel live from the location. See, this is the house that is presently being raided by the National Investigation Agency. We are being told that the raids have started after the raids were carried out in Rajouri and Poonch. These are the subsequent raids. The Jammu and Kashmir Police is also part of the outer grid to ensure that law and order is maintained. The National Investigation Agency teams have seized some documents and the digital evidences. This is the confirmation we are getting, that digital devices and some documents have been seized from here, from this very location, and the teams will be leaving here in a short while from now, the NIA teams. So this was a short raid that was carried out by the NIA, and I have seen that how the things have panned out. This was part of the raids, was part of the a pre-planned strategy that was conducted by the National Investigation Agency. A thorough plan was charted out, and then the agency carried out raids. Some of the officials of the NIA are on the first floor of this house, while some are carrying out raids in the ground floor. We are being told a confirmation has come that digital devices and documents have been seized by the National Investigation Agency from this house, and subsequent now the verification of the documents will be done before making any further step in this case. This entire case links to the funding of Jamaat-e-Islami, the banned outfit by the Union Home Ministry that was banned in 2019 February, and now more and more teams of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, they are arriving here at the raid site. See, you can see that more and more troops, the additional reinforcement of the Jammu and Kashmir Police is coming here as the teams of the NIA are set to leave this place. Some of the documents and digital devices have been seized. Important to mention that this case is linked to Al Huda Educational Trust, the CEO of which Mohammad Shamsi and one other, Dr. Fayaz, have been named in the FIR that was registered by the National Investigation Agency. This is the 7th case of National Investigation Agency Jammu Police Station that was registered in the month of September, and we were the only channel to have the exclusive details that how the money that was being sent via Hawala route was being used so as to ensure that the terror outfits can use this. See the teams of the NIA, they are leaving the spot. I'll request Gaurav to focus on the documents and the bags that the NIA teams are carrying. These raids, they are coming to an end, and NIA teams are leaving. This was a short raid that was conducted by the teams of NIA in connection with the 7th case of the NIA's Jammu police station that links to the terror funding for Jamaat-e-Islami by Al Huda Educational Trust, and the teams of the NIA are leaving. Mohammad Shamsi and Dr. Fayaz are the two names that were in the FIR, and now the teams of the NIA leaving the spot. See, other agencies as well, they were part of this these raids that were conducted by the NIA at the premises, at this very premises, and now the NIA teams are leaving the spot with some of the documents and the digital evidences. Important to mention that this was all part of the phased manner raids that were conducted by the National Investigation Agency, and Jammu and Kashmir Police is also part of these raids by the NIA. The officials of the Jammu and Kashmir Police were here since these subsequent raids have started. I request Gaurav to keep showing you the visuals as the teams of the National Investigation Agency leave from this very spot, and we have seen how the Jammu and Kashmir Police was part of these raids who were conducted by the these raids that were conducted by the NIA. Multiple locations are being raided by the National Investigation Agency, and now the teams of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, they are leaving this spot. I'll request Gaurav to keep showing you the visuals of the NIA teams that are carrying out the raids here. See, subsequent raids will also follow. I'll request Gaurav to keep showing you the visuals of these NIA raids that are going on, and subsequent raids are expected in this case. Yes, over to you.
All right, so as Gursimran is pointing out, of course, raids are being carried out in multiple locations. The case, we understand, has been registered suo motu by the NIA about the funding pattern and activities of the Al Huda Educational Trust. I think Gursimran has more details on these particular raids. Now, what we're given to understand is that the NIA is raiding these locations on the case that it has filed about the fact that the Al Huda Educational Trust is functioning as a frontal entity of the Jamaat-e-Islami.
Agency is going to conduct multiple more raids in the Jammu city. We are going to track that as well. This is not the end of the raids. We are being told that subsequent locations will follow. See, since morning we have been saying that 16 locations are being raided and subsequent searches will follow, and we have got the confirmation from the NIA that subsequent raids are being followed from here. The NIA teams will move to other location, which we are going to track very soon, that the NIA teams have left from this spot, but they are going to other spots. This is corroboration of the details that have been shared and have been generated by the digital devices and the documents that have been seized by the NIA, and more locations will be raided very soon in Jammu city as well.
All right, Gursimran reporting on that from Jammu. Thank you very much for bringing us those details. And here's a look at what else is making news this morning. Prime Minister Modi scheduled to inaugurate the first phase of the 856 crore rupee Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor Development Project in Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh. The project is to be named as Mahakal Lok. Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav is to be cremated at Sifai, his native village at the district in Itawa in Uttar Pradesh. The BRS chief and Telangana Rashtriya Samiti and the Chief Minister of Telangana, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, is also likely to be present at the funeral. The Election Commission has allotted the flaming torch as the poll symbol to the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiva Sena, with the party's name now being Shiva Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. The Shinde faction, meanwhile, has been named the Balasahebji Shiva Sena, with the EC has asked them to submit a fresh list of poll symbols. A court in Varanasi is likely to pronounce a verdict in connection with the Gyanvapi mosque case, with the court earlier having ordered a filmography of the mosque and carbon dating of the alleged shivling to be conducted. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to visit Bihar, with the visit being his second one in 3 weeks. He's scheduled to hold a rally at the district of Saran in order to celebrate the birth anniversary of the socialist icon Jayaprakash Narayan. The Supreme Court is expected to hear a plea that's been filed by the Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain in connection with the Delhi High Court verdict dismissing his petition against a transfer of his money laundering case to another court. The Supreme Court is also likely to hear a plea that's been filed by the Enforcement Directorate challenging the Bombay High Court order granting bail to the former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in a money laundering case. 3 minors are reported to be among 6 women, who were buried alive after a portion of a plaster collapsed on them near a mining area. The Delhi police is scheduled to question the former Delhi Minister Rajendra Pal Gautam over his presence at a religious conversion event that allegedly had remarks against Hindu deities. Sartan se Juda slogans were allegedly heard in Amravati in Maharashtra during a procession on the occasion of Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi. A case under sections of the Bombay Police Act have been registered. And we are now cutting across to pictures that we are getting of the ED raids that are being conducted in Chhattisgarh. These raids are being conducted in about 12 locations, and these raids are being conducted on top bureaucrats in Chhattisgarh. Some of these raids are being conducted in homes and offices of people who are believed to be close to the Chief Minister. So the areas that are being raided and the people who are being raided include Soumya Chaurasia, Vijay Malu, the Raigarh collector Ranu Sahu, Agni Chandrakar, as well as Suryakant Tiwari. Let me go across to Satya Vijay. I think he's joining us live right now from Bhopal. Has more details. Satya Vijay, good morning. Give us more details about what. All right, I think we seem to have lost that audio connection with Satya Vijay, but pictures on your screen are of where these raids are being conducted. These are raids that are being conducted on the top officials and bureaucrats in some of them in Raipur. We are still trying to ascertain the case under which these raids are being conducted, but we are now learning that several of these people who are being raided are believed to be close to the Chief Minister. Satya Vijay joins us live. He's reporting from Bhopal on this. Satya Vijay, tell us more of what you're picking up in terms of these raids that are being conducted in Chhattisgarh.
जी हाँ, देखिए छत्तीसगढ़ में एक बार फिर ईडी ने छापामार कार्रवाई की है। ईडी की ये कार्रवाई जो है छत्तीसगढ़ के मुख्यमंत्री भूपेश बघेल के कई करीबियों के ठिकानों पर ये कार्रवाई की गई है। और मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि छत्तीसगढ़ में जो दुर्ग में सौम्या चौरसिया हैं, इनके ठिकाने पर छापा है। रायगढ़ कलेक्टर रानू साहू के ठिकाने पर छापा है। माइनिंग हेड IAS JP मौर्य, इनके ठिकानों पर छापामार कार्रवाई की है। और इसके अलावा कई और ऐसे कारोबारी और रसूखदार लोग हैं जिनके ठिकानों पर ईडी ने रेड की है। साफ तौर पर ईडी को शिकायतें मिली थी कि इन्होंने पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग के साथ साथ आय से अधिक संपत्ति एकजुट कर रखी है और कहीं ना कहीं सरकार को फायदा पहुंचाने के लिए पैसे की अनियमितता की शिकायत थी, जिसके चलते ईडी ने ये रेड की है। इससे पहले भी 2 महीने पहले भी ईडी छत्तीसगढ़ के तमाम जो बड़े कारोबारी और रसूखदार लोग और अधिकारी उनके ठिकानों पर रेड कर चुकी है। और फिलहाल आज सुबह से ईडी की ये रेड जारी है, जिसमें कि कई ऐसे कारोबारी हैं, कई ऐसे अधिकारी हैं जिनके ठिकानों पर ये रेड की है। पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग समेत तमाम इन लोगों पर आरोप थे, जिसके चलते ईडी ने रेड की है। और 3 ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि 3 IAS IPS अफसर हैं, एक SP हैं, एक माइनिंग हेड जो IAS JP मौर्य, इनके ठिकानों पर रेड की गई है। फिलहाल इनके ठिकानों से क्या मिला है ईडी को, इसका अभी पता सही नहीं लग पाई है, क्योंकि जो रेड है वो अभी जारी है। शाम तक और भी बड़े खुलासे इसमें हो सकते हैं, लेकिन इससे पहले भी कई बार इनके जो ठिकाने उन पर रेड हुई थी और छत्तीसगढ़ के मुख्यमंत्री भूपेश बघेल ने इसे पॉलिटिकल रेड का नाम दिया था। उनका कहना था कि दबाव में आकर जो केंद्रीय एजेंसियां हैं वो रेड करती हैं, लेकिन ईडी के पास पुख्ता सबूत हैं, पुख्ता उनके पास जानकारी है। उनको ये शिकायतें लगातार मिल रही हैं कि इन अधिकारियों के पास, इन कारोबारियों के पास आय से अधिक संपत्ति तो है ही, लेकिन इन्होंने कई तरह की फंडिंग के लिए भी अपने रसूख का, अपने रुतबे का, अपने पद का इस्तेमाल किया, जिसके चलते इनके ठिकानों पर ये रेड फिलहाल जारी है।
All right, Satya Vijay, of course, is bringing us details of these raids that are being conducted in Chhattisgarh. Most of these are believed to be close to the Chief Minister. Thank you, Satya Vijay, for joining us.
के बाद भी तमाम बड़ी खबरें रिपब्लिक टीवी पर दिखाते रहेंगे।
Good evening, viewers. Things are escalating very rapidly on the US-Russia-Ukraine front, and serious academics are now talking about the very real possibility, some say in fact the 1 in 6 possibility, of a global nuclear war breaking out. As winter comes across Europe, Putin will now exercise his blackmail over an energy-strapped Europe. It's brinkmanship of a terrible kind. Europe and the US will hit back. The explosion on the Nord Stream, the oil pipeline from Russia, followed by the explosion on the very critical Crimea bridge, are all hands but underhand acts of Russia and America, hitting critical infrastructure with a touch of deniability. But ladies and gentlemen, in war, as we know, things can move from seeking deniability to absolute brazenness before you realize it. And by bombing Kiev, which he has done today relentlessly, He's been bombing Kiev relentlessly since this morning. A very wounded Putin is signaling to the world a new and more dangerous determination to hit back. And he's not fooling around about nukes, viewers. Ukraine and its American sponsors should stop giving Putin an opportunity to hit back and use nuclear weapons. They should stop giving him that excuse to use nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons are nuclear weapons, tactical or not. Biden has said it himself that Putin is not fooling around with nuclear weapons, that he can use them. And he has even said that even a small tactical nuclear strike by any side will lead, you can take it as a certainty, to multi-pronged global escalation, which means a global nuclear war, which nobody can and nobody will control. The world will then go back 1,000,000 years. Viewers, this has to stop now. Ukraine is nobody's war. Nobody's war. Putin should be allowed to deal with his own problems. And I would even say that if he wants the face saver of an annexation, he should be allowed one. And then the world must move on. Putin, wounded and desperate to show victory, will drag the whole world, including all of us, to a nuclear conflict. But equally, Biden must now put the brakes on his war industry. A nuclear war is not a theoretical possibility that only some experts in geopolitics are doing long-term risk analysis about. A nuclear war is a very real short-term possibility. And that is why, given its growing significance, that is why it is my first debate tonight.
Mission superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Blasts have been reported in the central city of Kiev.
Russia has once again escalated deadly attacks on cities across Ukraine.
No longer on the fence anymore. A new India is empowering a paradigm shift. The mission now is global dominance. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Good morning. Thanks for tuning into Republic TV. I'm Nivedna Prabhu. We have lots lined up for you, but before that, let's take a quick look at the headlines. ED news tightens, raids on across 12 locations in Chhattisgarh. Sources suggest raids linked to Chief Minister Baghel. After Partha, yet another Mamta man in the dock. Manik Bhattacharya arrested by ED in Bengal job scam. Prime Minister Modi to launch the first phase of the Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor project in Ujjain today. Mega NIA crackdown in Jammu and Kashmir. Multi-location raids are now underway. Varanasi court judgment on carbon dating likely. It's Shivling versus the fountain claim once again. Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav's last rites in Safai today. The Varanasi court will pronounce order in the Hindu side's plea seeking carbon dating of the Shivling found in the Gyanvapi mosque premises. While the Muslim side had opposed the sighting, the object was part of a fountain. Rakhi Singh, one of the plaintiffs in the Gyanvapi case, also objected to the carbon dating of the Shivling, expressing the apprehension that any scientific testing will damage it. So, in terms of the latest update coming in, that the Varanasi court will pronounce an order on the Hindu side's plea seeking carbon dating of the Shivling found in the Gyanvapi mosque premises. For more on this, we're joined in live by Piyush Mishra, who's joining us from Varanasi. Piyush, of course, in terms of the fact that the Varanasi court will pronounce the order on the Hindu side's plea today, what are the details that you're gathering in? So far, of course, we've seen a lot of developments coming in terms of this, of both the sides, having their own opinion or point of view of it. But what is the latest that you can tell us?
Well, what we are now given to understand is that at around 2 p.m. today, the Varanasi court is going to pronounce its verdict. Remember that the Hindu side had demanded that carbon dating should be done of the Shivling, which is present inside the Gyanvapi complex. Last time during its hearing, the court had listed that it wants to hear to both the sides and then only it wants to go ahead with its verdict. So today it will also hear to the Muslim side, and then only after that it is going to pronounce the verdict at around 2 p.m. What we are also learning is that lawyers of both the sides, petitioners who have been part of this case, they will also be present when this verdict will be out. Why carbon dating is being demanded? Because Hindu side wants to ascertain the age and when the Shivling was erected there, and that is why they want that scientific investigation should take place. The lawyers of Hindu side have also told us that they would want to court to rule in their favor, because it has been a long pending demand where people have been feeling, in fact they have been telling to the people of Varanasi, have been since beginning saying that inside the Gyanvapi mosque it's not foundation but it's Shivling, and that is why they want that all the clarity should come out. And looking at that, today the court is going to announce its verdict at around 2 p.m. We'll have to wait and watch how the court is going to look into the entire arguments of both the side. Remember that earlier the Muslim side had said that this case comes under 1991 Worship Act and should not be heard, but the Hindu side had objected to that, and they had moved to the court. And also, in fact, they had said that character of the Gyanvapi complex and the mosque can be ascertained because it was a disputed property before 1947. So multiple arguments, after hearing multiple arguments, finally the court is going to today announce if carbon dating should be done. It has been a long pending demand of the Hindu plaintiffs, where they have been saying that they should be allowed to offer prayers inside the Gyanvapi mosque. They have been claiming that there is a temple of Ma Shringar Gauri, there is a particular spot inside the Gyanvapi mosque complex where Hindus used to offer prayers, but it was distracted by the Mughal Empire, by the Muslims who invaded here, and they built a mosque there. So looking at both the demands, today the court is going to pronounce its verdict at 2 p.m. Why carbon dating is being demanded? Because Hindu plaintiffs believe that it's important to ascertain when was Shivling established there and for how many years it is there, and that is why they want the carbon dating to be done inside the Gyanvapi complex. Before that, the security has also been beefed in and around Varanasi. Many important installations are there where police personnel have been deployed in large numbers. If the court gives a verdict in the favor of Hindu plaintiffs, then most likely the Hindu side is going to move ahead for carbon dating in coming few days itself, because they have been saying that their basic right of offering prayers inside
we will keep coming back to you in terms of this, but of course we'll have to wait and pan out what the verdict will be later today, like Piyush was pointing out, 2 p.m. But we have more breaking news coming in with the fact that we're getting in a big lead on the NIA raids in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, sources have informed Republic TV among the people whose places are being raided by the NIA include religious preacher of Darul Uloom Ramia in Bandipora, Maulana Reshmatullah Kazmi and Samam Ahmad Lone, professor at NIT in Srinagar. Now remember, since morning there have been raids that have been conducted by the NIA in 16 plus locations where seizures were also made. But the big lead that we're getting in right now is that among the people whose places are being raided by the NIA include religious preacher of Darul Uloom Ramia Bandipora. We'll cut across to Gursimran, who's been tracking the story and getting us the latest information. Gursimran, over to you to give us the details in terms of the places and the people of places the NIA has raided.
See, right now that is the specific location. I'll request Gaurav to zoom in and show that that is the location that is being raided by the National Investigation Team, agency teams. The teams have arrived here some 10 minutes back and this location is being raided. Some of the officials of the NIA have left the spot while some are said to be inside. And this pertains to the funding of Jamaat-e-Islami by the Al-Huda Educational Trust. That how under the garb of Educational Trust, the funds were being generated for the Jamaat-e-Islami, which is a banned outfit by the Union Home Ministry that was banned in 2019. But since then, under the garb of various educational institutes, the funding was being generated by the Jamaat-e-Islami Al-Huda via Hawala channels. And also what has been in the investigation that the Muslim youth are being radicalized to carry out the terror acts so as they can wage a war against Union of India. And this case was registered by the National Investigation Agency in the month of September, after which the raids were planned, and now the raids are being executed at over 16 locations in the Jammu only.
Talking about the people as well, what we've understood is that religious preacher of Darul Uloom Rahimia Bandipora, Maulana Rehmatullah Kasmi and Samam Ahmad Lone, professor at NIT Srinagar also. You talk to us about the role and the allegations as well in terms of these particular raids, and what are the seizures, if you can tell us about that as well, while the NIA conducted these raids.
See, these the locations that are being ready to link to two persons. First is Muhammad Shamsi, who is also known as Maulvi Shamsi in Rajouri, and second one is from the Shopian, who's known as Dr. Fayaz. These are the two names. Maulvi Shamsi is the CEO of Al-Huda Educational Trust, while Dr. Fayaz is one of his associates. Now the locations that are being raided came into being after the analysis of the call records and the bank accounts of Dr. Shamsi, who is Dr. Fayaz, and CEO Muhammad Shamsi, who is the CEO of the Al-Huda Educational Trust. And now their houses are being searched. We are getting the confirmation that 16 locations that have been raided by the National Investigation Agency also include the residence of Dr. Shamsi in the Chaudhry Nar area of Rajouri, the visuals of which are with Republic. And the second location that is being raided is the house and the shop of Dr. Fayaz in the Rajouri district. Multiple other locations are being raided by the National Investigation Agency in Jammu and Kashmir, in Shopian, Pulwama, Jammu, Rajouri, Poonch are the districts where the raids are going on. And this is the house that the NIA teams have searched. Some of the officials are said to be inside, some have left for the another location, but subsequent raids will follow. This is what the confirmation we are getting from the top officials of the National Investigation Agency. And they were into radicalizing the youth to carry out terror acts, the violent acts, and to wage the war against Union of India. And how using the Hawala money, the funds were being generated for the banned outfit Jamaat-e-Islami.
All right. Thank you, Gursimran, for getting us those details. While Gursimran was pointing out the fact that NIA is conducting these raids in 16 plus locations, we will continue to track that story and get further details about it. But moving on to more breaking news that is coming in, we're getting in first visuals of ED searches in Chhattisgarh. Now, sources have informed that the searches are underway across 12 locations in the state. Now, the ED is carrying out searches in a money laundering case. Under scanner, what we're understanding so far are two bureaucrats, Ranu Sahu and her husband, JP Maurya, businessmen who are linked to mining. Now, the chartered accountants who are helping businessmen and bureaucrats. So, searches are currently underway in Raipur, Durg and Bhilai is what we're learning so far. So this is, of course, more details that are emerging out of the fact that ED was carrying out these raids across 12 locations in Chhattisgarh, but the latest input being that under scanner are two bureaucrats, Ranu Sahu and her husband JP Maurya. Both are IAS officials. Now, businessmen who are linked to mining, chartered accountants who are helping businessmen and bureaucrats. Now, searches are currently underway in Raipur, Durg and Bhilai. You can also see the visuals on your screens. We're getting in those first visuals of the fact that the ED searches in Chhattisgarh. Now, sources have informed that searches are underway across 12 locations in the state. What we earlier gathered with this particular input was that the raids were being conducted since 7 this morning. Now, the ED is carrying out searches in a money laundering case. Now, talking about the people who have come under the scanner of the ED include two bureaucrats, mainly Ranu Sahu and her husband JP Maurya. Both are IAS officials. Now, businessmen who are linked to mining, chartered accountants who are helping businessmen and bureaucrats, we're also understanding are under the scanner. On the other hand, searches are currently underway in Raipur, Durg and Bhilai. We'll continue to get more details on this, but this is the latest coming out in terms of ED carrying out searches in a money laundering case. For more information on this, we're joined in by Piyush Ori. Piyush, give us more details about the people who are under scanner. We understand so far that these are the two names that have emerged, but who are the other people and what are the details that you have on the fact that the ED has conducted these raids? All right, we'll try connecting with Piyush, but this is of course the latest that we're getting, the first visuals of the raids in Chhattisgarh. We also have a senior editor on the phone lines joining us, Shravan Sen. Shravan, you earlier were giving us details about the ED carrying out these raids across Chhattisgarh, but these two names are the latest that have emerged. What are the other details that we have about the fact that ED are raiding people and of course in terms of these searches also being carried underway?
We're picking up some more details with regards to those who are basically under the scanner of the info. As we had mentioned earlier, there are bureaucrats, businessmen and chartered accountants who are basically under the scanner. But as far as the bureaucrats are concerned, a couple who goes by the name of Ranu Sahu and her husband JP Maurya, both are IAS officials who are basically under the scanner. Apart from that, businessmen who are linked to the mining, chartered accountants who are helping businessmen and bureaucrats, they are all basically under the scanner. Searches are underway in Raipur, Durg and Bhilai. These are the places in Chhattisgarh where the searches are being carried out. As of now, we are being told that 12 locations where these searches are being carried out, but the number could very well go up because it started around 7 o'clock this morning is what we are picking up. And as the day progresses, there is a possibility that the number of locations could very well go up. In terms of the specific case, as of now, we've been told that this is a money laundering case in which these searches are being carried out. Specifically with regards to the ECIR that has been registered, that is not known at this point in time, which is basically the FIR equivalent in this particular case. The contents of the ECIR is not known. We are trying to ascertain more details with regards to the specifics of the case under which these bureaucrats, businessmen, as well as chartered accountants are under the scanner.
All right. Thank you, Shravan, for getting us those latest inputs in terms of the fact that the ED is currently raiding over 12 places in Chhattisgarh. Now, what we're
It's a big day for the city of Ujjain as Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the Mahakal corridor today. We'll get you the mood of the people here. We'll get you all the preparations that's underway. But all of this right after a short break.
There was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. The situation is part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Mission Superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Blasts have been reported in the central city of Kiev.
Russia has once again escalated deadly attacks on cities across Ukraine.
No longer on the fence anymore. A new India is empowering a paradigm shift. The mission now is global dominance. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the 5th largest economy. We are the fastest growing economy. Last year, the Indian economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. It's Mission Superpower.
Last year, we were all geared up.
This network is proof that everything in India is greenfield. Is it time for the Republic Network to do a spectacular intervention in global digital news media or not? It's my passion project. So that is our consecration to making India a superpower.
Now India has a clear goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the fastest growing economy. We have the potential to become a superpower. Last year, the economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. Mission Superpower.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
और ये जो नीच आपने कहा है उसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते?
किसने क्या कहा, किसने क्या नहीं कहा, जनता ये कहती है कि 27 साल का हिसाब तो हमें वीडियो नहीं देखना है। सी का मतलब है क्लीन। जिस तरीके से बीजेपी के नेता केंद्र में बैठे हुए लोग जनता की जेबों को क्लीन कर रहे हैं, अपने उद्योगपति दोस्तों को 10 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा माफी कर रहे हैं, उसको सी बोलते हैं ना, क्लीन।
the world supermarket.
Here's also what's making news across the globe. The UN General Assembly had to change its topic of discussion over Moscow's most extensive missile strikes in months. The discussions came about in place of a possible demand to Russia's reversal of the referendum across 4 regions of Ukraine. Russia compared Ukraine to the most outrageous terrorist organization in an address to the United Nations General Assembly following Ukraine's attack on a bridge linking Russia to Crimea. Now, the comments came as other nations spoke out against the country for launching a barrage of missile strikes against Ukraine. US President Joe Biden returned to the White House afternoon following a weekend at his home in Delaware amid Russia's biggest attacks against Ukraine in months. And still to come on the other side, Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav's last rites in Safai today. We get you the latest on that on the other side. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
In 2021, the Indian economy was all geared up.
We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower.
Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
There was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. The situation is part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Mission Superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Blasts have been reported in the central city of Kiev.
Russia has once again escalated deadly attacks on cities across Ukraine.
No longer on the fence anymore. A new India is empowering a paradigm shift. The mission now is global dominance. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the 5th largest economy. We are the fastest growing economy. Last year, the Indian economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. It's Mission Superpower.
Last year, we were all geared up.
This network is proof that everything in India is greenfield. Is it time for the Republic Network to do a spectacular intervention in global digital news media or not? It's my passion project. So that is our consecration to making India a superpower.
Now India has a clear goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the fastest growing economy. We have the potential to become a superpower. Last year, the economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. Mission Superpower.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
और ये जो नीच आपने कहा है उसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते?
किसने क्या कहा, किसने क्या नहीं कहा, जनता ये कहती है कि 27 साल
An explosion caused the partial collapse of a bridge linking the Crimean Peninsula with Russia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will declare Gujarat's Modhera village as India's first solar-powered village.
Open firing has been reported in the national capital, where the miscreants opened fire at a shop in Daryapur area.
In 2021, the Indian economy was all geared up.
We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower.
Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
There was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. The situation is part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit. Mission Superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Blasts have been reported in the central city of Kiev.
Russia has once again escalated deadly attacks on cities across Ukraine.
No longer on the fence anymore. A new India is empowering a paradigm shift. The mission now is global dominance. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the 5th largest economy. We are the fastest growing economy. Last year, the Indian economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. It's Mission Superpower.
Last year, we were all geared up.
This network is proof that everything in India is greenfield. Is it time for the Republic Network to do a spectacular intervention in global digital news media or not? It's my passion project. So that is our consecration to making India a superpower.
Now India has a clear goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
We are the fastest growing economy. We have the potential to become a superpower. Last year, the economy was all geared up. Now it's time to set the goal in sight. Mission Superpower.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid
ED raids on across 12 locations in Chhattisgarh. Sources suggest 2 bureaucrats are under the scanner. After Partha Chatterjee and his aide, yet another Mamata man is on the dock. Manik Bhattacharya is arrested by the ED in the Bengal job scam. Prime Minister Modi is to launch the first phase of the Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor project in Ujjain. Mega NIA crackdown in Jammu and Kashmir. Multiple locations are being raided. The Varanasi court judgment on carbon dating is likely. It's Shivling versus the Fountain claim once again. The Samajwadi Party founder Mulayam Singh Yadav's last rites will be held in Safai today. Good morning and welcome. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now, we're going to cut across to news that's coming in from Maharashtra's Amravati, where the Amravati police have registered an FIR against about 8 to 10 unknown people for raising slogans of Sar Tan Se Juda during a procession. So this news coming in from Amravati, where slogans were raised. A case has been filed by the Amravati District Police and 10 people have been named in the FIR. Or actually what we are learning is that the FIR actually talks about 10 unknown people. Alisha is reporting on this. She joins us from Mumbai. Alisha, tell us more, A, of the incident and B, of the police action that has followed after.
Well, yes, that is an action that has been taken by Amravati Rural Police, where the NFR has been registered against 8 to 10 unknown people who were raising slogan in the procession of on the occasion of Eid Milad-un-Nabi, where Sar Tan Se Juda slogans were raised on the same procession. And this has happened in the Amravati rural area, after which a video got viral. The police is investigating into the case, and of course there was some of the slogan. Even police has heard about it, after which they took the case. They have registered a case, and the case has been registered under against 8 to 10 unknown people, and it's a Pratwada police station which has registered a case under various sections under unknown people, and the investigation is underway.
Right. As Alisha is pointing out, a case has been registered against these unknown people. Now, Alisha, give us more details in terms of what the police are telling you. We are given to understand that this video is coming from where this incident actually happened.
Well, the police from where we have spoken to the Amravati rural SP, which has given an information that it is a video that has been going viral, and this is on the occasion of Eid Milad-ul-Nabi procession which was ongoing, and there are some of the people who were raising slogans, Sir Tan Se Juda, after which looking into that video where the police has registered a case under various sections against 8 to 10 people. Now the video has been scrutinized. They are going to check whether people who were involved and who is the procession, whether the procession has the permission or not. So this all what police is investigating at this point of time. So the primary information what we are getting from the police sources that the case registered and specifically the statement which has been recorded, which clearly mentioned that in the video, and it also clearly can be heard in the video that there are slogans which has been raised, Sir Tan Se Juda, and after which the case has been registered by Amravati police.
All right, Alisha, bringing us all those details of this particular incident that has been reported from Amravati. Thank you for joining us. Now moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the first phase of the 856 crore rupee Mahakaleshwar Temple Corridor development project in Ujjain today. This is expected to significantly boost tourism in the holy city of Ujjain. So pictures on your screen are of the proposed Mahakal corridor that is being built now. This is more than 900-meter long Mahakal Lok corridor, built as one of the largest such corridors in the country. Tanisha is reporting on this. She joins us live from Ujjain right now. Tanisha, good morning. Give us more details of what we are expecting to see today. The Prime Minister, of course, inaugurating this corridor.
Right, Nupur, the stage is all set in Ujjain with this mega corridor, the Mahakal corridor as they say, which is getting inaugurated by the Prime Minister today. Now right behind me is the main entrance of the Mahakal corridor. The two pillars that you see are the Nandi Diwar and the Pinaki Dwar. And in between is the mega Shivling that the Prime Minister today is going to inaugurate. I would just like my VJ to come closer to the Shivling and let me tell you the details of this Shivling. Now this mega Shivling that the Prime Minister is going to inaugurate is covered by more than 10,000 molis. This is the special event that the Prime Minister Modi is going to take up, and after the unveiling of the Shivling, the inauguration of the Mahakal corridor, the massive Mahakal corridor, the grand Mahakal corridor is going to take place at 6 p.m. in the evening. And right behind me, if I would just like my camera person to show you, is the Mahakal corridor, the grand Mahakal corridor that the Prime Minister is going to inaugurate. Remember, this is the first phase of the Mahakal corridor. It has been built into two phases and the total cost is about 8,856 crore. Now the large size Shivling covered in strands of moli that I just showed you has been placed right below the grand gateway. The corridor measures over 900 meters in length and is dotted with 108 sandstone columns in a row which bear decorative trishul design on top and mudras of the Lord. Now if you see very closely, the engravings on the pillars are very unique. It is said that the pillars will have the murals of goddess Shiva and goddess Shakti. And not just this, where I'm going to take you now is the massive fountain. So now it is not just about the day show, but also the night show. So during the day, this beautiful corridor, the sandstone of this corridor will light up on its own, but during the night, there'll be a fountain show. There'll be, the corridors will be lit up with yellow light all over the place. So it again, like I said, it's not just a day show, but also a night show. Back to you, Nupur.
Absolutely, and as you're pointing out, obviously this is likely to boost tourism in a major way in Ujjain. Tanisha, you were of course taking us through the entire project that has been built at a huge cost. Tanisha, we were earlier learning that this is going to be increased to about 47 hectares, the total land, and will be developed in two phases under the Ujjain district administration. So could you take us through what is the second phase of this?
Right. Nupur, remember when the project first started, it was just limited to around 30 to 35 crores. But soon after that, CM Shivraj Chauhan increased the rate to about 70. Now, huge amount has been put up for the inauguration of these corridors right around like 10 a.m. in the morning when we were coming from Indore airport to Ujjain. The streets were lit up, saffron flags were there all over the streets. There were posters of Narendra Modi and CM Shivraj Singh Chauhan welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Posters were also put up. And according now to the tentative travel plan of the Prime Minister, he is to undertake the journey to Indore airport by air and then fly in a helicopter in the evening. Now, the Mahakaleshwar temple is considered one of the holiest places on earth by the Hindus, and lack of people come here from all parts of the country during the Shravan month especially. And maybe one of the biggest reasons of increasing the area of this corridor is also because this is the hub of all Hindus when it comes to devotees, when it comes to religious festivals. Remember, this is also called the spiritual capital of India. Back to studios.
Absolutely. Just as Tanisha was pointing out, of course, the Mahakaleshwar temple is one of the 12 Jyotirlings in the country, which attracts a large number of devotees. And the corridor that is going to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister, of course, will essentially boost tourism in Ujjain. Tanisha, if I could come back to you. Tanisha, give us a sense of the itinerary of the Prime Minister. We are being told that he will be arriving there, and thereafter, of course, there is going to be his inaugurating the Shivling over there, and thereafter we understand he will also be touring the corridor. So tell us more.
Right, Nupur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi right now is in Gujarat, and soon after that he is supposed to come to reach by air by 5 p.m. here and around 5 to 5:15 in the evening. First, he is going to visit the Mahakaleshwar temple, which is for now closed for all devotees because Prime Minister Modi is going to arrive in next couple of hours. And soon after he visits the Mahakaleshwar Mandir, he is supposed to inaugurate, in fact, unveil the Shivling first at around 6 in the evening, and soon after that at around 6:30 p.m. in the evening he is supposed to inaugurate the mega Mahakal Lok, that we say the Mahakal corridor here. And after that he is going to go to Kartikeya Maidan. He is going to first take a survey, I beg your pardon, of the Mahakal corridor. It's going to take 2 hours approximately, and after that he is going to go to Kartikeya Maidan, which is just about 20-30 minutes from the Mahakal corridor, where he is going to address the people of Ujjain.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely, as you're pointing out, of course, this is more than 900 meters long. It's known as the Mahakal corridor. It's been built as one of the largest such corridors in the country. Spreads around the old Rudrasagar lake, which has been revived as a part of this redevelopment project around the famous Mahakaleshwar temple, which of course is one of the 12 Jyotirlings in the country. And Tanisha is bringing us the latest on this. Tanisha, thank you very much for joining us with all those inputs. And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. India at the UNGA has voted in favor of a procedural vote called by Albania to have an open vote instead of Russia's demand for a secret ballot in connection with the draft resolution by Ukraine. The former chairman of the West Bengal Board for Primary Education, Manik Bhattacharya, has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. The arrest of the TMC MLA has been made in connection with the SSC recruitment scam. Raids are being conducted at over 16 locations allegedly linked to the radicalization and promotion of enmity in the valley. The raids come as terror organizations raising funds via Hawala channels were banned by the MHA earlier. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is expected to pay his respects to the former Defence Minister of the country, Mulayam Singh Yadav. The Calcutta High Court is expected to hear a affair by the Enforcement Directorate to take Saigal Hussain, a former security guard of the TMC leader Anubrata Mandal, into custody and question him in connection with the cattle smuggling case. A Varanasi court is expected to pronounce a plea by 5 women petitioners seeking carbon dating of the structure inside the Gyanvapi mosque believed to be a Shivling. The CBI has filed a charge sheet against the former telecom minister and DMK leader A. Raja in connection with the disproportionate assets case in connection with the piece of land purchased by a company linked to the former telecom minister. The University of Delhi has released the schedule for Phase 3 of 2022. The university has further extended a 30% rise in seats in the SC/ST quota. The university has further extended the last date for application to the 12th of September. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is on a 6-day visit to the US in order to attend annual meetings of the IMF and the World Bank. The Finance Minister the 7th Battalion of the Mizoram Kachar Frontier of the BSF and the Karimganj Police have seized over 9 kgs of heroin packed in 765 soap cases from a truck on the National Highway 37 near Karimganj. And the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is on a 6-day visit to the US in order to attend the annual meeting of the IMF and the World Bank. The Finance Minister is also scheduled to participate in the G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting, besides bilateral meetings. Well, more details coming in of Manik Bhattacharya's arrest. The Enforcement Directorate has arrested the TMC MLA Manik Bhattacharya early this morning after a night-long questioning in connection with irregularities in the recruitment of primary teachers. Bhattacharya was the former chairman of the West Bengal Board of Primary Education and was allegedly arrested for not cooperating with the investigation. He's an MLA of Palashipara in Nadia district. Let's go across to Kishale, who's reporting from the Bangla newsroom. Kishale, give us more details of the non-cooperation that the ED has accused him of. The ED, of course, says that he was not being cooperative and was consistently dodging questions.
Well, Nupur, there are 2 parts of this whole investigation. The first part is the criminal irregularity where Manik Bhattacharya and people associated with the recruitment scam did not provide jobs to the worthy candidates, and instead of that took money, took bribe and provided jobs to unworthy candidates. The next part of the investigation is where ED is looking at the money laundering part, the taking of bribes and what amount of money was taken and then given to whom, the whole process of this chain of this exchanging of illegal exchange of money. This whole part, Manik Bhattacharya was questioned yesterday. Since yesterday night, there was a night-long question, as you rightly pointed out. However, there were many irregularities in the way he answered the questions thrown at him by the ED officials. ED officials questioned him about what connections he had with Partho Chatterjee and other people, other big honchos connected to this whole scam. They also asked him, like previously Justice Abhijit Ganguly instructed him to provide a whole document about all the properties he had earned during his tenure as the chairman of primary board. However, he did not provide that. So this whole process of investigation was coming at a halt because Manik Bhattacharya was not allegedly cooperating with the ED officials in terms of the amount of property he acquired during his tenure and also what amount of money he took from whom. There was an alleged text message between Manik Bhattacharya and Partho Chatterjee, where Partho Chatterjee was called by Manik Bhattacharya for a meeting at his home. However, we do not know the details of what that meeting was exactly about and what conspired in that meeting. The officials are suggesting that there might have been many crucial decisions about illegal recruitments at that meeting. So Manik Bhattacharya needs to be questioned about that as well. So all these things are coming up, and Manik Bhattacharya yesterday night when he was questioned, as you asked, He did not answer those questions properly. He did not cooperate with the officials. Therefore, the protection that was given to him in the condition that he will be cooperating with the officials was not met by him. Therefore, he was arrested by ED this morning, and any moment he will be taken out from the CGO complex ED office to the Joka ESI hospital, where he will go through a medical test, and then he will be produced in the court. And then ED will be asking for his custody. That's what we are getting to know. Nupur.
Now, Kishore, of course, there are two parts to this investigation. One is being done by the CBI, and the other part is by the ED, under which he's been arrested now. But also, Kishore, this is going to be extremely uncomfortable for the TMC now, because this is the third major leader who has been held in corruption cases.
Well, yes, Trinamool Congress TMC took a stand when Partho Chatterjee was arrested. Abhishek Banerjee held a press conference and openly declared that anyone connected to corruption or any illegal activities would be taken into consideration, and they will be removed from their positions. And Partho Chatterjee was removed from his party position, as well as his ministerial berth was taken away. However, when Onubroto Mondal was arrested in cattle smuggling case, that's a different case. ED and CBI both are looking at that case as well. When he was arrested, Mamta Banerjee took a stand that Onubroto Mondal is innocent, in fact, and supported him. However, it is to be seen now when Manik Bhattacharya is arrested. Previously, other arrests were also made. Shubhitesh Bhattacharya was arrested, and also North Bengal VC, and also other important persons like Kollanmoy Banerjee, etc. All of them were arrested previously by different agencies, central agencies who are probing these cases. Now it is to be seen whether Trinamool Congress takes a stand, removes him as from his position of the MLA of Palashipara. As we pointed out previously, he continues to be the MLA. We did not get any official statement from the Trinamool Congress yet. However, they have been saying that the central agencies are used by the central government in order to put TMC in a position where because elections are coming as well. So Trinamool Congress alleges that revenge is being taken by central government, and these central agencies are being used against them. So that's one thing that Trinamool Congress and Mamta Banerjee has been saying in the past. We have to see what position they take in this case when Manik Bhattacharya is arrested, Trinamool Congress MLA of Palashipara.
All right. Thank you very much, Kishore, for bringing us those updates. As Kishore is pointing out, of course, he is expected to undergo a medical test right now before he proceeds to court. Thank you, Kishore. And here's a quick